for this class, COM 181 Online, you are going to be recording your speeches and then uploading them for your instructor to grade them on Blackboard. So I wanted to take this opportunity just to go over some quick tips and guidelines, if you will, for recording yourself online for this particular class. So let's talk about those real quick. All right, so when you're recording yourself for this class, don't just turn on your phone or webcam and go, all right? You want to think about a few things in order to present yourself and your speech in the best way possible, not only so that you look effectively, but also that from your professors, your instructor's point of view, they can see and hear you clearly. We can only grade what we see and hear. And you don't want to lose points for something you said or did that we just couldn't see or hear. All right, so you need to keep that in mind. So let's go over some of these tips real quick, okay? So first and foremost, and this should go without saying, but I keep having issues with it. Remember, you are recording a speech for class. You are not recording a YouTube video. This isn't a reaction video. You're not trying to be an influencer. You are recording a speech that you were giving in class. So you want to give that speech, even though you're recording yourself, just like you would in class, okay? And what I mean is you don't want to start off like the first speech in class is your personal narrative. And I've had students do this before. You don't want to start this speech by doing something like, hey, y'all, it's me, your boy. So I'm going to be telling y'all, laying it down about who I am and what I'm all about, you see. So no, that's a reaction video. That's not a speech. All right. Do the proper introduction, body, conclusion, give all that stuff. Think about if this camera wasn't here, if people were in front of me, how would I do this? And that is what you want to record. Also, don't record outside. Now, some people are like, well, why not? I mean, wouldn't the lighting be good and whatnot? Yes, it can, lighting wise. But the problem with recording yourself outdoors is ambient noise, whether that's cars in the background, kids and birds and whatnot. A big problem is the microphone like on your phone or whatnot, and wind noise. They pick it up crazy. There's any type of breeze. I got my microphone here. You're going to hear the whole time. And trust me, it's hard to hear you speak over that wind noise. It's going to be louder than you. So record yourself indoors. Look to the video we talked about as far as setting, and make sure you have it good setting and so forth and all that jazz. And that leads to sound and lighting. All right. Make sure you're lit well. Make sure we can see you well. Now, you don't have to go out and buy anything, but have an overhead lamp. I always recommend multiple sources of light. All right. Like right now when I'm recording this, I have a lamp here. I have a lamp here. I have my overhead light on, and I have two big lights, one here and one here, that are lighting me so that you can hopefully see me well. Now, you might not have to do all that, but don't just turn on your overhead light and sit in a corner. You're going to be all dark. Bring a lamp over as well. Try to make sure that you are lit up well, and make sure we can hear you clearly. All right. I said this in a previous video. Often the microphone that comes in like a laptop is not that good. Okay. You might need to get really close to it for us to hear you okay. Now, some of them may be better. Maybe you have a webcam that has a good one. The microphone pickup in a lot of phones is actually pretty good, but make sure we can hear you clearly. Okay. This is my headset that I have here, but these are the ones they gave us at Gateway. This is a simple Logitech headset. All right. These cost about $10, $15 tops, but the sound quality you get out of one of these is 20 times better than you get out of most internal microphones in like a laptop. And I promise you, as course manager, I'm promising you, your instructor, whether it's me or somebody else, will not take off points in your speech if you are wearing a headset with a microphone so that we can hear you clearly. If somebody does, you let me know. Okay? So make sure we can hear you clearly. There's not a lot of background noise, and you're lit effectively so that we can see you. This goes again with framing yourself. See the video we did for the other chapter dealing with speaking online. Good neutral background, framed well in the camera. What about the use of a podium? Well, you probably don't have a podium at home, but they're good tools to use, all right? Because one thing they let you do is rest your hands when you're not gesturing and to put your notes on them. Now, you can buy some very cheap, even collapsible podiums on places like Amazon and whatnot, but a very simple makeshift podium that you can use at home is to take a chair, just a simple chair, and an empty, make sure it's empty, trash can, and put the trash can upside down on the seat of the chair so that the bottom of it's up top. It makes a very good makeshift at-home podium. You don't have to do that, but it's always something I like to recommend. And lastly, that brings us to visual aids. Especially for the persuasive speech in this class, you're going to have a visual aid. Now, how do you want to show that when you are recording your speech? Okay, couple things. One, if you want to show pictures or you want to show like a PowerPoint or a video, one, videos that you record for this class, and hear me on this, need to be in one continuous take. There's no doing an intro, stopping, doing the body. We can see the cuts because the picture twitches just a bit. You can't do that in a face-to-face class. You can't do that for this class. One continuous take, no edits or anything. So you can't edit in a video clip. It needs to be one take. But what you can do for PowerPoint or whatnot is a couple of these options. Number one, if you have another laptop, okay, you can frame yourself in your screen where like you're standing here and the laptop is here and you have your PowerPoint on the laptop and you can show it that way. And what I would recommend doing is if you do it that way, also send a copy of it to your instructor so that they can see, have a hard copy to look at clearly, and then they can see what the slide says and they can see how you use it, right? That's one option. Another option that's similar, framing yourself the same way, is that if you have, and a lot of TVs today have this, if you have a television that allows you to plug in like an HDMI cable or a USB cable where you can show a computer screen on your TV, again, stand just to the side of the TV, show your PowerPoint or pictures on that screen. It's a great way to do that. Now, if you don't have access to that and want to show photographs, I will advise you to check with your individual instructors about what they would like you to do. What I do, now this is just me, okay, so if your class is being taught by Mr. DeBerry, consider this what I would do, but others might be different. I allow students that if they're showing a picture or going to show pictures, just letting them hold it up like this and like bring it into the camera or hold them up like this. I allow it because, this is a speech, this is a class, this isn't a professional business setting. That's not good in a business setting, all right? But for class, it's a little different. But check with your instructor about that. But using visual aids in this medium when recording yourself, putting pictures or a PowerPoint or whatnot on a side screen that you show along with you is going to be the easiest, clearest thing. But if you have to use something else, check with your individual instructors as far as how they would like you to do that. So those are just some basic tips, tricks for recording yourself online. Again, I didn't mean for this video to be the end-all be-all Bible for giving a speech online and some tips, but just some general things that students tend to have trouble with that I wanted to go ahead and address here so that you had some answers. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about something specific, please check with your individual course instructors.